Good morning. This morning's devotion was Romans chapter 8, verse 25, which is, God will work good in all things for those who love him. God will work good in all things for those who love him. It's hard in this time to see what good could be. It feels intractable. It feels frustrating. It feels like we're pent up. We don't know what to do with ourselves. We're so used to being busy, to running from here and there, and it seems like we're getting contradictory messages all the time about what the right thing to do is and how seriously we should take things, and it's hard to see how good will come out of all of this. And yet Romans 8 reminds us that God works good in all things, that God is present in all things, whether we feel good about them or not, whether we are aware of God's presence in them or not. And so in this time of frustration and anger and maybe a little pain, it's hard to see the good that God is working. And so I invite you today to spend a little time in prayer and to pray for patience and pray for wisdom, and to pray for open eyes, for the ability to see the potential that God is still moving, that God is active in the world, that God is in the midst of this, and we need open eyes and ears in order to see that. We need open eyes and ears and maybe hands in order to be that, in order to be God's act in the world. Today I saw God's act of goodness in our food pantry. We've always been open and helping people in our community with the food pantry. And last week we didn't have a lot of people. I think people were afraid to go out. But this week we served 16 people in 2 hours. People were calling, people were waiting. 16 families in 2 hours. People were calling and people were waiting to come in. And they were so thankful and so grateful that we could be here to support them in this time of need. And many of them said that they had been laid off and that they were so thankful. And so God was in the midst of their lives and in the midst of their pain. And I am thankful.